Hey Bible lovers, I'm Tim Nichols and I'm here to bring you your Nichols Worth, and today from Crossway we're going to be featuring the ESV Preaching Bible, but I'm actually going to be showing it with all the goatskin options minus one that Crossway has to offer. So let's check it out. First of all, of course, you know Crossway Bibles, when they're in their premium editions, come in these nice two-piece boxes, but this is actually printed in China, as is this. These are both called the ESV Preaching Bible. This one is in paragraph format. This one is in verse-by-verse format. The reason this one is called a preaching Bible is strictly because of the layout, because the verses are easy to find because they're on the edge right here and they're right in a row, and it's laid out all the way the same all throughout the Bible, even in the poetic settings. So that's what makes this a preaching Bible. Plus the margin space gives you some room to take notes for your sermons. Has limited textual notes on the bottom, not a whole lot in the form of references. This one is in paragraph format, and it's also called a preaching Bible. Now, I'm not exactly sure what makes this a preaching Bible, other than what I would guess is the very bold verse numbers that make it pretty easy to find your verses. And of course, you have your margin space and your limited textual notes. This really reminds me of the ESV Legacy in a way, but there are some subtle differences. In fact, I have a Legacy right here, and I'll show you how they compare. They're laid out very similarly. The font in this one is just a little bit smaller. Of course, your poetry is going to be in verse-by-verse format, as it is going to be in this one. But when you get into the paragraph layout, you can see there's similarities. The difference is this one has the subject headings in the outer column, and this one just has margin space. So you can see the similarities. Also, this is a 9-point font. This is a 10. And just in case you were curious, the verse-by-verse Preaching Bible is a 9.75 font. Once we get into the poetic settings, I'll let you take a quick look at those as well, just so you can see them. They're in that verse-by-verse format that you're used to, and they have the space between each poem to let you know kind of where the stanza begins. When you get into the New Testament, as is with most Crossways, your words of Christ are going to be in black. You're going to see a little bit more in the area of notes and references because this is from the critical apparatus. Now, let's compare this to some of the other goatskin options, because this one has my favorite goatskin. This is Chinese, 36 GSM paper, 36 GSM paper. These are heirlooms. They're printed in Royal Young Blood, Netherlands, and they're going to have the 28 GSM paper. Ultimately, they're considered nicer, but I really like these Chinese editions. This is available in the black goatskin, and this is the ESV Alpha. There's also an ESV Thinline that I don't have that's available in the black goatskin. They're also currently available in the Wellington leather, and this one is an 8-point font. This is one of my favorite compact Bibles. Then in the more of the personal size, we have the ESV Heritage. This is laid out similarly to the Legacy, as you can tell, and it's a 9-point font, so it's the exact same font size as the Legacy. In fact, let's take a quick look at the Legacy. And you can see the only thing it's giving up really is just size. This one's going to be a tad thicker than the Legacy because it's got fewer words per page. Now when we move into the Omega, this is a 10.5-point font, and this is laid out in double column, which is one of the best, in my opinion, layouts. The only knock I have against the Omega is that it has those corner references that kind of throw your columns off a little bit, but it's not a big deal. Again, 28 GSM paper, 36 GSM paper. I am going to show you the difference between the 36 and the 26 and how it's actually pretty remarkable how the 28 GSM paper doesn't go so bad. But we're going to do the same-ish layout. And you can see the ghosting is not significantly worse in this one. Here's my issue with the 28 GSM paper. Is for me, it's very difficult to get a hold of a single page. Right here, I've already got two. And in this 36, you grab a page and you're set. It's just very easy. Now, if you want to see a couple out-of-print options real quickly, these are the former Chinese heirlooms. And this is also the Legacy with the 36 GSM paper. I absolutely love this Bible. And I like the goatskin leather from the Chinese editions other than the Omega. The Omega one felt kind of cheap, but I love the darker art gilding here. So really nice. I did do a ribbon replacement on these just because Crossway's ribbons are like, what? Now, I will give them credit for this one. They didn't stack the ribbons. They are 1/8 double-sided satin ribbons on the preaching Bible. Very nice. It's got your gilding, your animal skin liner, really nice corners. So for a Chinese production, this one is great. And then here's one that's out of print, the ESV Creeds and Confessions. And this one is essentially the Omega layout, but when you get in the back, it has your creeds and confessions available. Heidelberg Catechism, several others. This is still in print. You just cannot get it in the goatskin anymore. So there's a quick look at all the offerings that Crossway has in goatskin leather. So let me run through them real quick again. First of all, you have the Alpha in the compact size. You have the Heritage in the slightly larger, moving into the personal size. Then you have the Legacy, the Omega, and then you also have the Thinline, which I don't have. And then in your non-heirloom but high quality goatskin options, you still have your preaching Bible with a verse-by-verse format and your preaching Bible with the paragraph format. Some awesome stuff Crossway has to offer. I highly recommend them. They also have some cowhide options that are close to premium that are really nice in the wide margin and in the verse-by-verse layout. You might want to check those out as well. God bless you. Keep calm. Jesus on. This is your Nicholsworth.